So let's start just by finding a comfortable seat. Maureen's kitty is just gonna stroll by and super sweet. All right, so sits bones are connected. Maybe the flesh of your bottom is even moved out of the way. You want that bony part either on your mat, your floor, bolster, whatever you're on. It is nice to be on a bolster much of the time, just so that your knees can be lower than your hips. Of course, if you're okay and comfortable with eyes closing, you'll allow those to gently close. Lengthen through the spine. Just feel yourself get tall. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let them drop away from the ears. Your belly button and your solar plexus are gently tucked in. Letting your core be what holds you up as you sit. And perhaps you notice if once the core is engaged and you're tall, if there's a sense of rigidness in the way that you're holding yourself. I always like to remind myself to relax into this a little bit, that I don't have to be, holding myself in any particular way, but that there's some sort of ease in just in my whole body. Softness in your face. Aware of the noises and the room you're in. Just recognizing that sometimes it's harder for us to practice at home. Lots of distractions or things we think that we should be doing instead, and just acknowledging that and acknowledging that you've made the time to be here this morning. Maybe there's smells in your room. A certain amount of light that's coming through the eyelids, and so it's as though you can see, even though your eyes are closed. Aware of the temperature of the air as it touches your skin, or your clothes as they touch the skin, where your body is meeting your earth. Perhaps there's a taste in your mouth. Just aware of our sensory experiences in this moment. In this space we include our cognition is a sensory experience, understanding that our thoughts just happen. Your brain's job is to think, just like your nose's job is to smell. So you're aware of any thoughts that are occurring. And then emotions. Emotions are our experience. Most where our senses meet the body. Emotions occurring. Settling into this place where we're witnessing the experiences we're having. As we witness, there's no judgment, no experience that's good or bad, right or wrong. Just witnessing. With an inhale, let's bring our palms together, tuck our thumbs at the heart. Maybe you choose to bow the chin towards the chest. Just an opportunity to set an intention. Perhaps this morning it is that we stay connected to our witness. As though we're observing what we're experiencing during this practice. Let's draw our thumbs to the forehead, that spot right between our eyebrows. And bring the thumbs back to the heart. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, weave your fingers together and let the hands drop to the lap. Let the chin tuck to the chest, allowing the head to hang heavy as though the back of the neck can lengthen. And the shoulders are soft. Keeping your fingers weaved together and a bit of a bend in your elbows. Let's let the inhale bring the arms up overhead and lift the chin maybe to neutral or open it just a hair. Exhaling, the arms will float down and your chin will tuck back down to your chest. Inhaling to lift the arms and open the throat. Exhaling to lower, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. One more time to lift. And to lower, our hands still weaved, resting in our lap, the chin tucked, the shoulders soft. Feeling the coolness of the air as it enters our nostrils, the warmth as it exits. Noticing sounds in your room and smells. Maybe your eyes are still closed. If there's thoughts or there's emotion, just noticing. Keeping your chin tucked, let your hands move up to the base of your head. Let the elbows slide towards each other. The back of the neck still lengthening. With an inhale, we'll lift the head, open the elbows, open the throat. Exhale, tuck the chin, let your elbows slide together. Inhaling, throat opens, elbows open. Exhale to tuck. Inhaling up. And exhaling to tuck. One more time, lift it up. Exhaling, chin tucks, elbows slide together, and we'll let our arms drop back and down to our lap. Just letting that head hang heavy. Inhaling, bring your head to the center. And let's bring our arms up and out like L's or like a goalpost. And just trying to keep the elbows level with the shoulders. We probably need to make sure our core is engaged. And then it's as though you're pulling the shoulder blades towards each other a little on the back body. And all we're gonna do is take a breath in. And with our exhale, we're gonna let our arms move down, like we're gonna point our fingers towards the floor with our elbows still up. Inhaling, our arms come up like goalposts. Exhaling, they move down, those elbows trying to stay level with the shoulders. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lower down. Good, do a couple more times, just knowing that you're rotating the arm bones and the shoulder sockets. Some of us have limited mobility here, and that's totally okay. Maybe it's injuries, maybe it's sticky connective tissue, maybe it's arthritis, who knows? Good, next time your arms are up like goalposts, let's let them stay up. Then spin our palms so that they're facing each other, and let the arms lift and spread out like a giant Y. Awesome, roll the shoulders back and down, get them away from your ears. We're gonna inhale, and then with our exhale, our palms turn forward and we pull those arms back down all the way, like elbows are trying to point back towards each other, shoulder blades sliding together. Awesome, let's spin the palms towards each other. Inhale, back into a giant Y. Exhale, palms forward, bend those elbows, slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Inhale, palms towards each other, bring it up like a Y. Exhale, palms forward, arms down, shoulder blades towards each other. Do one more time, inhaling up like a Y. Exhaling, palms forward, pull those shoulder blades together. Awesome. Then arms go down so that those elbows are still out and open, maybe like a scarecrow. And then we'll let our elbows slide down, let our shoulders relax. Inhale, roll the shoulders towards the ears. Exhale, roll them back and down. Couple times, just releasing, relaxing. If you need to move your legs at all or resituate for your hips or your lower back, go for it. And then we'll move to our neck. So using an exhale, your chin is gonna tuck. Just letting the back of the neck again be long. With an inhale, bring your head to the center. Exhale to rock it back Open the throat, roll your shoulders back and down again, and imagine that your heart can lift up. Inhale, head is to center. Exhale, right ear towards our right shoulder. And so right away, we can feel that stretch. Some of us are going to feel it like in the back part of that left side, and others are going to feel it towards the front. And both of those are just called our accessory muscles. They're like anterior and posterior. But when we breathe, a lot of the times we're using those muscles to breathe, and so they get really tired. Good, your ear is going to stay dropped towards your shoulder, but you're going to turn your head like you're looking down towards your armpit. And typically that'll activate, you're going to feel the back of those neck muscles, the posterior ones. Maybe really allow that left shoulder to relax down. Good, bring it back to the middle, so just your ears dropping towards your shoulder. And then opposite way, you're twisting your head like you're gonna look up and over towards the left. And that'll activate these front ones. Good, bring your head back so that just the ear is dropping towards the shoulder. Inhale, bring your head to the middle. Let's pause just for a sec. Let the neck kind of realign. When you're ready, it'll be an exhale that takes your left ear towards the left shoulder. Just an awareness that this right shoulder is soft. Using an exhale, let your head turn like you're peeking down at your armpit. That ear is still dropping towards the shoulder though. Maybe you can feel that in the right side. Good, you'll bring the head back to the middle so that the ear is just dropping towards the shoulder. And then turn it the other way. You're looking up and over. And it addresses those muscles on the front of the right side. Awesome. Inhale. Use your exhale to bring your head just back, ear dropping towards the shoulder. Take a breath. And inhale, bring your head back to the center. Awesome. Let's get tall again. If we're not, shoulders back and down. We'll open the throat, lift the heart again. Roll the shoulders back and down. Inhaling, our heads will come to center. The exhale, twist the head to the right with the intention of keeping that chin parallel with the floor. Both your shoulders soft. Inhale to come back to the middle. Take a breath in the middle. And it's your exhale that will twist the head to the left. Your chin parallel with your earth. Inhaling back to the middle, take a breath. And then let's kick our feet to the side or roll over the knees, however you get onto all fours. Let's meet on all fours. And probably our legs are ready to be straight. Our lower back is ready to move. Sitting is hard on our bodies. So once you've got all fours, of course, your core is engaged. Let's stretch that right foot out and down behind us, the toes on the ground. And just push through that right heel. Inhale, use your exhale to bring the knee back under the hip, and then inhale that left one out, toes on the ground, push that heel back. Lovely. Breath in, breath out brings the knee so it's back under the hip. Let's again stretch our right foot back out and down, toes on the ground. We want to let the heel drop out and over towards the right edge of our mat. Inhaling to bring it back to the middle and exhaling to let our heel drop in towards the middle of our mat. Inhale, heel to the ceiling. Exhale, drop it to the outside edge of your mat. Inhale to the middle. Exhale, let it drop into the middle of your mat. And go back and forth just a couple more times. You're rotating, of course, you're just rotating that thigh bone in the hip socket. Maybe you're thanking your hips as you do this for allowing you to sit like that for like a half hour probably. Meeting back with a heel in the middle, pressing the heel back towards the wall or whatever is behind you. Breath in and breath out to bring the knee under the hip. Sweep to the other side. Left foot is back. If you're connecting with the breath, you might just inhale and then exhale to roll the heel towards the outside edge of your mat. Inhale to bring the heel towards the middle. Exhale, drop it towards the middle of your mat. Inhaling, heel up towards the ceiling. Exhaling to drop it towards the outside edge. Inhale to the ceiling. Exhale, middle of your mat. Do it just another 2 times. And then we'll meet the heels towards the ceiling. You're just pressing it back towards the wall or whatever is behind you, taking a breath in, and then exhaling knee under the hip. Let's spin our fingers back towards our knees or however far they go, letting the wrists stretch. So some of us will stay like nice and still here. Others like to circle a little bit, just shift the weight. Notice that your core is engaged. Notice that your neck is neutral. You might also check in with the noises in your space or the smells, what you see, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. And bring your fingers back so they're pointing forward. And then one hand at a time, we're just going to fold it so that the top of our hand is on the mat. And I suppose varying pressure, right? Like some of us will barely put any weight in that hand and that arm. I'm just going to honor the wrist. Where that hand will plant. So you can do the other one. Top of the hand on the mat. Lovely. Let's plant both hands then so that our hands are under our shoulders, our knees are under our hips. We're taking a breath in to ensure core is engaged. Using an exhale to tuck our chin, tuck our tailbone, and arch our back. Inhaling, tailbone lifts, throat collarbone opens for your cow. Exhale back to cat. Inhale forward to cow. Go back and forth, totally your pace. Your breath is going to initiate your movement. So if you want to move faster, all you do is breathe faster. Maybe you decide to pause one place or another and take a whole breath or 2. I think one of my most favorite things about yoga is that even though we're practicing together, we're practicing alone. So we might choose to do something entirely different than what we're being led to do, we really have the freedom to listen to what our body is wanting. Maybe your hips need a wiggle a little, or your head and your neck again. And eventually just making your way back to neutral, back to all fours. We want to stick that right foot out, toes back on the ground, and then let's pull with the core, pull that leg up so it's level with our hips. Maybe you bring your left arm up and out. It could be alongside the ear, it could be bent. I just had mine on my belly. Like, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was reminding myself, engage the core. But wherever, you're making yourself balance. Good, reach through your heel. Let's keep our leg up, but use an exhale to plant that hand on our mat. And then this right leg is gonna cross over the left, plant the toes on the ground. And just gently push through that heel, like you're pushing back and over. And now, of course, you can feel like through your hip and your IT band, the outside of that thigh. Inhale, lift it back up and in line with your hip. And then exhale it out and over towards the ground on that right side. And move it so that you can drop the heel to the ground. Your core is engaged. You're just pushing that thigh bone. It could be both thigh bones back in the hip socket. The inner thigh is lengthening. And let's actually take our right hand to our hip. You might need to move your left hand more towards the middle of your body, but right hand to the hip so you can twist and open the shoulders to the right. And you could lift the right arm to the ceiling if that's what you're wanting. Good, if you've got your right arm up to the ceiling, drop the hand back to the hip. Take a breath in. With your exhale, untwist so you can bring both your hands back under the shoulders. We're gonna kick out our little left foot, let it be our kickstand as we bring that right one, just slide it on the ground, right straight behind you. You'll roll to the inside edge of that right foot, stack your shoulders, stack your hips, so that again, you're faced, you're twisted towards the right. Maybe your right arm is up at the ceiling. Maybe you decide to drop it alongside the ear and then lift towards the ceiling with that right hip. Your foot stays on the ground. You're just after that length on the right side. If your arm is alongside your ear, just remember shoulders back and down. Almost like there's space in your neck. Good, if arm is alongside the ear, inhale to get it to the ceiling. Exhale, hand to your hip. Let's unstack our hips, our shoulders so that we all meet back on all fours. Glorious. So left leg straight out behind us, toes on the ground for a second. With an inhale, lift that leg so it's level with your hip. And keep your hips level too. They don't often want to stay level. If you want, right arm could extend. Just making your core work in order to balance you. Nice deep breaths. If your arm is up, use an exhale, plant it under the shoulder. You're sending that left leg across the right and then down to the ground and pushing that heel back and over. So you're opening this left hip and you're stretching the outside of that thigh. Belly is engaged, of course. Next inhale, you're gonna slide it. I'm just leaving mine on the ground even, all the way over and out to the left. And planting that foot so the heel is down, everything is down. And then we just want to push our thigh bones back in our hip sockets a little bit. Your core is still engaged, but you're after that inside of the left thigh. Maybe it goes all the way down like the outside of your shin into your ankle. Good. Bring your left hand more towards the middle of your chest or your mat. Your right or your left hand is going to go to your hip. Breath in, breath out. You're twisting to the left. So it's like your shoulders stack, your thigh bones still push back. If you want, left arm could go to the ceiling. If your arm is up, use your next exhale to bring it back to your hip. We'll inhale, use our exhale to untwist. Plant both our hands so they're under our shoulders. Your right foot is going to go out and over a little, so it's a kickstand. Your left leg slides all the way back and round. You plant the foot inside edge of the foot. You're twisting shoulders and hips to the left, so you can stack them right on top of each other. And maybe your left arm lifts to the ceiling. Maybe it drops alongside the ear. You might feel the lift through your left hip, like you're getting super long in that whole left side. Nice, the arm is alongside the ear. Use an inhale, bring it to the ceiling. And exhale brings hands to our hips. Breath in, breath out to unstack our hips, our shoulders, everything back so we're at all fours. And let's send the butt back towards the heels. Come down to child's pose for a sec. Maybe our wrists are feeling tender, and so we take this moment to roll the wrists or to relax the shoulders. Of course, your knees can move apart as much as you want or need them to. Notice sensation in lower back here and sensation in hips. And if there's quite a lot, my invitation would be to shift your weight from side to side in those hips. Just like you're easing into this or recognizing that they're talking to you. And if our arms are not forward, let's bring them forward. We'll inhale to get to tabletop, move our knees so they're under our hips. And then let's come down on our elbows. So elbows are right underneath our shoulders. We'll tuck our toes and we're coming up into like a down dog. And actually I think they call this dolphin. Maybe your feet need to pedal a little. It's trickier when you're down on your elbows to pedal your feet. But knees can stay bent and you can really stay like on your tippy toes, especially if your hamstrings are tight. Notice your shoulders are back and down away from your ears. Your core is engaged. Maybe your eyes close, and yet again, you're aware of the noises in your room, the smells. You're aware of what you see, of what you think, of what you feel, of what you taste. You are aware of this moment. You're witnessing your experience. Take a breath in. Exhale to drop those knees to the mat. And then open the throat, the collarbone, like you're going to come into cow and let your tailbone lift towards the ceiling. Your core is engaged still. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin like you're coming into cat. Inhale forward to cow. Exhale back to cat. Inhaling to a neutral spine. We'll step our feet back. See what happens if we come into plank. If that is too much, like knees up, then you're going to put your knees down and be in a low plank. Either way, shoulders away from our ears. Belly button, solar plexus tucked right in. Breath in, breath out. We'll drop our knees if they're not. Drop our thighs and our hips. And we essentially meet in like Sphinx, right? Maybe you need to bring those shoulders forward a little more. Untuck your toes if they're still tucked. And pull those feet in, those legs in, like you're squeezing them together. Then roll your shoulders back. Close your eyes again if you want. As you breathe, feel your belly inhaling. It expands and it's like pushing into your mat. Exhaling, it pulls away a little. Good, we'll slide the elbows out so that we can come down just to slide the hands to mid-chest level. Roll the shoulders back and down away from our ears. Hug our elbows into our torso. Inhale up to cobra. And then push up and back to down dog. Maybe your feet pedal. Either way, you get your hips really high, like come to your tippy toes even to get them that high. And then push them back towards whatever's behind you. Ears right between your upper arms. And then pedal your feet if you're gonna pedal. Breath in, breath out. We'll drop our knees to the earth. Let's pull our mats, the top of our mats over so we've got some cushion. Folded once, folded twice, whatever you need. And then we're gonna walk ourselves up so that our knees are right underneath our hips. And then of course our torso's up. Once you've got that, we simply want to pull our right leg straight out and over to the side. The sole of our foot connected and it's right out from our hip. And then your hips, a lot of the times our hips like move to the right. Let's see what happens if we try to bring them right back in line, just like we're standing. Roll the shoulders back and down. You're gonna inhale, let that left arm lift up alongside the ear. Exhaling, it's a very gentle bend of the right shoulder towards the right hip. Your top shoulder, your left shoulder rolls back and down again away from that ear. Inhale to come upright. Hold on just for a sec. Same thing, breath in. Breath out, you're gonna let yourself bend back to the right. You're after that left side body. Inhaling to come back to the middle. Exhaling, arm down. Let's inhale and then exhale, hinge at the hips again. Bring your hands back up in front of you. We are already here. Just got there a different way. This time, let's push those thigh bones back in the hip socket. Roll our shoulders back and down. And keep pushing through that right foot, that right heel. I suppose if you want to twist again, that might actually feel really good. Your left hand would scooch towards the center. And again, right hand to the hip, just twist and open one more time. And I suppose we could do just back and forth, like exhale to untwist and then inhale to retwist, if your body feels like that's appropriate. It just feels like a twisty day. Good, we'll meet back with our hands under our hips or our shoulders, and then walk our hands back towards our knees just so we can lift back up. Awesome, pull that knee in so it's under your hip. And then left side, straight out to the side. Outside edge of that foot in particular, like it's rolling down, connected with the floor. And then we want to level our hips back up just like we're standing. Shoulders back and down. Inhale to bring your right arm up alongside your ear. Exhale to let that left shoulder move towards the left hip. And then your right shoulder just rolls away from your ear. Inhale to come back up. Hang out for a breath. Extra inhale. Exhale, left hip towards left shoulder. Gets you that lateral bend in your spine again. Inhaling to come up. Exhaling, arm down. Take a breath in. Exhale to hinge at your hips. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Thigh bones press back in the hip socket. And if our body is wanting, that right hand scooches to the middle, left hand to the hip, and we might just twist and open again to the left. And maybe you stay put, or maybe you flow with it. Just twisting and untwisting. And next exhale, you'll make your way back so both hands are under your shoulders. Hands will walk back towards the knees so that you can inhale, lift your torso up. And exhale, bring that knee so it's back under your hip. Awesome. Coming down, then we just want to bring our hands down, crawl back so you can unfold your mat, just back to normal, all fours. Your knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders. Take the breath in, engage. Exhale to get the knees and the hips back up to down dog. And remember, tippy toes first. Get your hips really high and back, and then worry about your heels moving towards the earth. And for real, if our hamstrings are tight, like our legs might never get straight here, and that's totally okay. Way more important to keep that alignment of your spine with the hips up and back than it is to have straight legs. Next inhale, let's walk our hands back to our feet just so we can get a little bit more of our hamstrings, knees bent so belly can rest on our thighs. And then if we can keep belly on our thighs, we straighten the legs a little. But our chin is tucked, our shoulders are soft. It's like our whole torso just hangs. Inhaling to come halfway up, flat back. Push your thigh bones back in your hip sockets. That'll help activate those hamstrings. Crown of the head reaches forward. Breath in, breath out. Find your forward fold again. Tuck your chin in. bending the knees quite a lot. Let's bring our arms out like giant wings. Use an inhale to come all the way up. Hands up and together, sliding them right down to heart. Awesome. If your feet aren't at your hips or under your hips, I mean, bring them there. Let's shift all the weight into our left leg. Use our core to lift that right knee up. And then you're just going to take a giant step forward with that right foot and try to stay on your toes of the back foot. Good job. We want to lift our back thigh then, lift it really high. Pull the belly in, roll the shoulders back, try to get your torso upright. Just balancing, bend that front knee a little more if you can. Good, let's hinge at the hips then, like we're coming down and just floating over that front leg. Shoulders back and down, back thigh high. Take a breath in. With your exhale, drop your hands to the earth. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop your back knee to the earth. Untuck your toes. And then heel toe this front foot over to the left so you can drop the knee. You're coming into a pigeon, and let's bring our heel back towards our body a little just so that it's a kinder pigeon. Our back foot should be right back out from our thigh. We might check, or from our hip. And we just want to slowly allow our hips to sink towards the mat. And we're not going to stay here super long. You know, sometimes we do this and we really work on coming upright with the torso, and it's way nicer to do this when we're together so we have props to support our bodies appropriately. Good. We're rolling then to this right butt. So just sink that right butt over. Your back leg is going to kind of follow. And then you'll bring that other leg around, the left one around, and settle on both your sits bones. And so you're set up like we did Wednesday, our half wide-legged straddle pose here. So our legs are out and far apart. You're just going to get tall, toes of your straight leg point into the ceiling. Let your hips hinge forward a little. And push especially that left sits bone towards your earth. Nice. Inhale to bring your torso up. We're going to bend our straight leg just so we can roll back, find all fours. Notice difference right now between your right hip, your left hip, or your leg. Tuck your toes, take your breath in. Exhale up and back to your down dog. Hips high, hips back. Nice big breath. Armpits maybe lift so you give your shoulders some room, your neck some room. With an inhale, we'll walk our hands back to our feet, feet in forward fold, chin tucked in. Tailbone maybe tilts up towards the ceiling here. You've got your core engaged. Everything you know to do. It's funny, eventually this just becomes habit. Like our body knows to keep our core engaged. Inhaling to come halfway up, flat back, crown of the head forward, shoulders back and down, thigh bones back in our hip sockets. Breath in, breath out to fold. Bend your knees, arms out like giant wings. Inhale to unhinge, come all the way up. Exhaling, hands together, they slide right down to heart. Your feet are under your hips. Your belly is gonna lift that left knee up. Good job. With an inhale, it's a giant step forward with that left foot. And you've got your high lunge. We're trying to keep that back thigh high, our heel right over our toes if we can in the back. And if you're comfortable, your hands might come to heart and you bend that front knee a little more. And as you lift that back thigh, like our right hip flexors are having to lengthen. Take a breath in. Exhale to come down, hover over that front knee. Lift that back thigh even higher. Breath in. Breath out, drops our hands to the earth. Take a breath in. Exhale, drop your back knee to the earth. Take a breath in. Exhale, walk your foot towards the right. Drop your left knee towards the earth. Pull that left foot in towards your body a little more, just so this isn't like straining anything. And you might check your back leg, it's right out from the hip. You're letting your hips just very gently sink towards the mat, keeping your core engaged. Awesome, breath in. Breath out to roll to that left butt. Might use your arm, but help your right leg come around. You're setting up for that half straddle fold. So your left leg is tucked in, your right toes towards the ceiling, sits bones grounded. Breath in, breath out hinges your hips. You maintain that nice flat back. As you pull those toes towards the shin, you've got the back of that right leg lengthening. Nice. Next inhale and hinge your hips, come upright. We're gonna bring that right leg all the way around, left leg too, out in front of you. Scooch on your mat, scooch forward enough that you've got room to come down. Before we come down though, we'll just put our hands behind us if they're gonna help support us. Shoulders back and down away from our ears, just letting our knees rock a little side to side. Then down to our elbows, knees still rocking side to side, just different sensations. And then all the way down to the back body, knees rocking, shoulders wiggling so that they're comfy. Pausing with the knees in the middle. Inhale to bring that right knee in, hands to it, so you can gently hug it towards your torso. Maybe left leg straightens down on your mat. You've got your wind reliever. Some people will choose to keep their toes towards their shins. Others like to rock that bent knee a little side to side, figure eight it, circle it. Good, if you've got your left leg straight, go ahead and bend. We want to drop the right one. Use an inhale to pull the left one in towards our torso, hands to our knee. And then mindfully make that decision whether right leg belongs straight or it stays bent. Just finding your expression of a wind reliever. Right leg is straight. Inhale to bend it. Exhale to let go of our left knee, both feet to the earth. Again, let your knees rock a little side to side. Pausing knees in the middle. Inhale to bring them both up and in. Hands to both knees. Give them a squeeze to you. Maybe you rock here, or maybe you reach for happy baby actually. And check in with your spine. If it's telling you that it would appreciate one more twist, your arms will drop open like a giant T, and you'll either drop your feet to the earth for less of a twist, or just drop your knees to the right. Just dropping your feet first to the earth and then letting your knees drop to the right. It makes it so that that twist isn't as, I don't know, as intense as twisty. If you're twisting, make sure you are aware that both shoulders are on the ground. Your head turns to the left. If your head is to the left, bring it back to the middle. Our knees need to come back to the middle. And I would encourage you to keep feet down. Bring the top knee back to the middle, followed by the bottom knee, just so it's gentle. Maybe your knees rock a little side to side, letting the spine realign. Maybe you pull them in towards the torso, hands to the knees, and then rock side to side. And decide how much of a twist is appropriate, either dropping feet first or not, but then letting knees drop to the left. Both your shoulders stay grounded. Maybe your head turns to the right. Grateful for this body. It moves, it twists, it turns, it goes up, it goes down. All of its internal functions. If you've got your head turned, bring it back to the middle. Feet stay on the earth. Your top knee comes to the middle, followed by your bottom knee. And maybe those knees rock again side to side, or you pull them in towards the chest and rock side to side. If there's any last release that isn't mentioned, but your body knows that it would be appreciated, feel free to go there. Preparing for Shavasana or corpse pose. I'm going to make sure that the lower back is going to be okay to stretch out, which is why we do these releases. When it is, your legs will just lengthen. Maybe you've got your bolsters and pillows. Reach with your heels and then let your feet flap out and open. Wiggle the shoulders, tuck the shoulder blades underneath you for a little cushion. Your arms can drop down and out beside you. One little trick here that You might just notice that if you're feeling kind of antsy or the busy mind, if you move your palms down to the earth, it just helps kind of ground your energy a little bit more. If your palms are up, it's as though you're open to receiving more energy, kind of gauging what you need for those last few minutes. Your eyes are closed. Your body gets to soften here. All the little muscles in your face get to soften. Your jaw gets to relax. The shoulders relax. The neck too. Your arms are soft. Your belly is soft. And your back body, it's being supported by your floor. The earth has you. So you relax it, almost like you could sink into the ground. Your butt is soft and your hips are relaxed. Your thighs, front and back, down through your knees, just all the way to your feet. Letting that body be, letting it be soft, letting it be relaxed. With body relaxed, you remember this practice of mindfulness where you're witnessing the experience of this moment. Whether that is the noises or the smells, the thoughts or the emotions. No value placed on what it is you're experiencing. It all just is. witnessing. There's several authors that write about whether or not we're humans having like an energetic or a spiritual experience, or whether we're energy having a human experience. For us in this moment, seems like it could be both. Energy and human. Witness and human. Let's bring our awareness to our breath, experiencing the breath. Our awareness to our hands, and then to our feet, experiencing the movement, maybe the head moves a bit from side to side. Eventually our knees need to bend, so we can shift the hips a little one way or another, let the knees fall. Just gradually making our way to a side. And then using the hands and the arms to push us back up to our seated position. Maybe your eyes can stay closed as you get there, I don't know. If not, when you get there, just reclose the eyes again. And connect back with that capacity to witness. Knowing that it doesn't matter what we call this, whether this is our witness or our spirit or our consciousness. I think we have just different words that mean the same thing. As we're connected with that part of us, it's almost like we could choose any body part. We could choose the knee. And we could experience what it's like to be the knee. Choosing to experience what it's like to be, to experience this life. With an inhale, we'll bring our palms together, tuck the thumbs at the heart, bow the chin towards the chest. Perhaps gratitude for the experience. The witness in me honors the witness in you. Namaste.